We have failed as a species, ladies and gentlemen, because everybody's chasing this superficial definition of wealth that consists of money, power, and abundance. And because we've been chasing this superficial definition of wealth, nobody knows how to relax, how to enjoy the moment, or how to slow down. However, I think that we're reaching a point where people are starting to realize that chasing this superficial definition of wealth isn't worth it, and people are starting to see the need of prioritizing slowing down. Because living a slow life is the true path to wealth. And so in this video, I want to share 10 different slow living habits that have allowed me to live a wealthy life by taking you on an adventure to this lake right here, Ptarmigan Lake. But before we get here, we need to start off our day right and begin with perhaps the most important habit. 1. Wake up without your smartphone. Good morning, or as my students in Ecuador would say, buenos dias. Most people start their day the most toxic way possible. They get up and they immediately pick up and check their smartphone. It's like having your mind go from 0 to 100 the second you wake up. And when they start their day this way, it sets the stage for the rest of the day as if it's a fast-paced day. And they're unable to slow down because they're unable to focus from all this overstimulation. You cannot start off your day looking at this because you're just going to feel extremely stimulated the rest of the day. You need to get in the habit of spending at least the first hour of the day doing slow things that don't involve a bunch of stimulation. And when you start off your day that way, it's much easier to focus and think more clearly throughout the rest of the day. It's much easier to slow down. And my next habit is just as equally important. 2. Take the time to make a healthy breakfast. SpongeBob was right when he said, "The most important meal of the day, serving it up Gary's way." So many people don't take the time to make a good breakfast and they just rush out the door. And because of that, they're stressed and anxious the rest of the day. In order to slow down, you must take the time to make a healthy breakfast in the morning like this one. When you take the time to make a healthy breakfast, it's much easier to slow down throughout the day because you have more energy and you're able to think more clear. Instead of starting the day with a bowl of cornflakes and feeling anxious and stressed throughout the day because you feel malnourished. So take the time and get in the habit of making a healthy breakfast every morning because it always makes the day a lot easier. So now, let's get ready to head out to the lake. 3. Go somewhere small and far away. I've noticed that in life, we can often get caught up in the same routine day after day, that time speeds up and it seems as if we have no control. But I've also noticed that if you break up your routine and do something different, time seems to slow down. And it slows down because you're creating new experiences and new memories. And one habit I have in order to slow down is to go somewhere far away, whether that's a small town or deep in nature. It's important to just do something different every now and then. So my bags are packed, I'm ready to go, I'm standing here right out the door, and we're about to head off to the lake. So let's go. 4. Enjoy the journey, not just the destination. Hello and welcome to Car Augustine. One of my YouTuber advantages is that I live in the prettiest state in the United States, Colorado, so I can just show clips of amazing scenery. And one habit that I think is very important to slow down is to not focus too much on the destination, because in life, we often focus so much on getting stuff done that we miss out on all the beauty along the way. We miss out on what most of life is, a journey. I think that life is probably 95% journey and 5% destination. And when you ignore the journey, you ignore 95% of life. I think that life is much richer when you enjoy every step of the process. So as we head off to this lake, instead of focusing on getting to the destination, let's just enjoy the journey. 5. Remove yourself from the craziness of life. One thing that I love about Colorado and just the West in general is that there's so much land that isn't developed on. You see so many wide open spaces that make you feel removed from all the madness of everyday life. And I think it's important every now and then to remove yourself from all the craziness of day to day life and go somewhere that makes you forget about all your day to day struggles and allows you to calm down. Because if you don't, you'll probably go crazy. I mean, think about a place like New York City, where you're in this sea of people flooded by an abundance of stimulation. You have to remove yourself from that environment every now and then and surround yourself with an environment that calms you down. And so let's continue on our journey through the majestic Colorado, while of course not forgetting to enjoy every step along the way. 6. Immerse yourself in the moment. So we just got to the Ptarmigan Lake trailhead and we're going to hike 3 miles in to the lake. So let's go. So we're about a mile in the hike, and one thing I just love about being immersed in this beautiful nature is that you don't seem to think too much when you're out here. All you just think about is the sound of the birds, the trees, and just all the beautiful nature around you. And I think we can get so caught up in life that we're always focusing on the future and we're never living in the present moment. I think it's important to find activities like being in nature that allow you to fully immerse yourself in the present moment. Because when you immerse yourself in the moment, you're able to enjoy life more. You're focusing more on the present, which makes time slow down. So now let's just continue on our hike. 7. Have a sense of wonder. I think that when we're children, everything is so new and exciting that we have this huge sense of wonder. We observe all of our surroundings and are amazed by everything. But somewhere in our transition to adulthood, we lose that sense of wonder, just become jaded to everyday life. And I think that the more I become an adult, the more I don't want to lose that childhood sense of wonder, of looking up in the clouds and imagining figures, or looking in the mountains and just feeling so small. And I think that the more you become this jaded adult, the quicker time goes because you're just going through the motions of life. But the more you live with that childhood sense of wonder, the more time slows down and the more you enjoy your life. So now I think we're pretty close to the lake, so let's continue on our hike. 8. Simply be. Here we are, after 100 miles of driving, 3 miles of hiking up a mountain, we have arrived to this beautiful lake. But now that we're here, we shouldn't just go home. We need to stop, take it all in, and simply be. In this crazy world, we never have the time to take in the present moment. We never stop what we're doing, but we're always just going. And I think it's important to do things like this, where you just stop and slow down and simply be in the moment. It makes time go slower. I mean, it makes time just seem irrelevant because you're just simply here in this stunning location. And it's so great to take these moments in life to simply be. And it also reminds me of the next habit. 9. Appreciate and be grateful for life. I think that when you're in an environment like this, it makes you appreciate and see how much that you have. Because in our society, we have so much, but we take it all for granted. We take for granted things like clean water, food, and shelter. And I think it's important to be in the habit where you constantly remind yourself and be grateful for what you have in life. Because we have so much, and when you understand what you have, you don't want as much in life. I heard this quote the other day that goes, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Every time I'm out here, I always think about how much that we have in life and how all these things that we're chasing are just so superficial and don't matter. True wealth is understanding how much you have. And so I want to close this video with one final, very realistic habit. 10. Prioritize slowing down at least once a month. Let's just be real. Slowing down on a day-to-day basis isn't always a very realistic thing to do. I mean, we have responsibilities and obligations. We got bills to pay, we got mouths to feed. Ain't nothing in this world for free, ladies and gentlemen. However, despite the chaos of our society, I think it's important to be in the habit of prioritizing slowing down at least once a month. And when you get in the habit of slowing down at least once a month, you're able to reset your life and stay sane. And when you make the time to slow down, you live a much wealthier life. And those are my 10 habits to live a wealthy life by slowing down. I hope you enjoyed this video. This video was very challenging to make. Filming outside is so difficult, but I hope you enjoyed the video, something different. Let me know in the comments. Muchas gracias and enjoy the video.